I would liken this fragmented, chaotic nature almost at a sub-particle level, at an atomic level. The logistics activity are like, and the logistics service providers are almost like subatomic particles who are fizzing away and working very hard, frenetically, to deliver on a day-to-day, hourly, even minute-by-minute basis. I think what there is a role that has yet been fully realised, though, is the ability to harness all this activity and this energy and to create, to continue the metaphor, fusion by coordinating these atoms and getting them facing in the right direction that responds to the city's day-to-day challenges today, but also tomorrow's challenges and the context of the city as it transforms for tomorrow's tomorrow. So, global logistics service providers like Deutsche Post, DHL, we have inherent in our processes and systems the capability to offer coordination, command and control activities, often on behalf of our private sector clients. And what we'd like to do is take those capabilities and those competencies and apply them in a new dynamic marketplace, the rise of the cities.
And are you basing your solutions on the sort of supermarket model where you have a series of large areas where freight comes into and then it's distributed by smaller vehicles? How do you see this developing?
Ideally, we'd like to work hand in hand with local service providers, but what we're trying to do often is to reduce the amount of individual milk-run local light goods vehicle movements, delivery vehicle movements, and we're trying to coordinate those and optimise those nodes through our own systems capabilities. We're very aware that technology is a key enabler to this, but then also in certain areas and certain regions, cities have a low technology infrastructure and a low budget to get smart in the foreseeable future. So we need to have a portfolio of solutions, some of which are technology light and can be implemented with very little upfront infrastructure, and then at the other end of the spectrum we can help the smart cities of tomorrow grow and optimise. What we are trying to do, though, is, as I say, deconflict light goods vehicle, in many cases delivery movements, from the peak times of city activity, and to lower the carbon footprint of those last mile, or indeed in some cases last metre deliveries. And that means that we have to think imaginatively about some of our solutions, not only using the latest technologies in terms of hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles, but also thinking about using eco-mobility solutions, indeed cargo bicycles where appropriate, or even proxies like an individual citizen, a pedestrian, who might be armed with a smartphone and an application that could be developed to enable them to carry out last metre deliveries on our behalf.
So how practical would it be if all governments in the world, if all city governments in the world said you can deliver all your freight, but it all has to be between the hours of 1 o'clock in the morning and 5 in the morning?
I think there is a tendency to wave a policy or a regulatory stick and to try and shape the flow without necessarily understanding the consequences that would come from those policy introductions. Policymakers are often trying to turn off the tap at one part of the day and then to turn it back on at another time that seems to suit the local situation and so on. But there are many stakeholders who are interested in the flow of goods and services, not least businesses, but also residents and the private individuals as well as the government, as well as businesses. So what we're trying to do is look at a holistic system and understand how as with energy, as with ICT, as with people movements and private and public transportation, that logistics is built in and designed in and modelled and simulated rather than rushing to an immediate policy solution.